Let's say you have a $700,000 mortgage on your home. You will be paying over $500,000 in interest over the next 30 years. $500,000 just in interest. That's crazy. This is on top of the principal, the $700,000 that you bought the home for. Now, there are three common ways that people use to pay this off faster. So in the next 10 minutes, I'll be walking you through all the three strategies and I'll talk about how I'm using that to pay off my mortgage in 15 years instead of 30. So let's get started. If you are new to this channel, my name is Navjot and my mission is simple. I want to retire 1 million immigrants with $5 million. So whether it's mortgage payoff strategies like this video, stock investing, tax strategies, or anything related to investing and money, every video on this channel is designed to build you wealth step by step. So if you want to join this mission, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and let's grow together. Now, before I discuss the strategies and I show you a calculator, I want to talk about 4 things that we need to understand before we even think of prepaying the mortgage. And the first one here is you should never prepay your mortgage if your TFSA is not maxed out. I've made several videos. I'll link those, that video in the description as well. But TFSA is the biggest and the best tool out there. You put the money in TFSA, you invest that money, it grows tax-free and you can take the money out tax-free whenever you want. It's the biggest wealth building compounding tool out there. And if you have not put and maxed out TFSA, like your entirety of TFSA, and I'll link a video where you'll have everything that you need to know about TFSA, I would not put a single dollar towards my mortgage. That's number one. The second one is that if your employer is matching your RRSP, you should be putting the same match. So let's say your employer is matching up to 5% of your RRSP. You should put 5% of your income in RRSP, and that is free money. 5% that the employer is matching is absolutely free for you to use when you retire, for your retirement fund or whatever you want to do it. So absolutely, that's a return. That's 100% return that no stock can give you. It's free money. Never leave that on table. So if you are not maxed out your RRSP to the limit where your employer is also matching, I would not put a single dollar before that into my mortgage. The third box is that you should be maxing out RESP as well. I have an entire video on how to max out RESP, but it's about $250, including the rebate is $2,500 every single year. If you're not putting that towards RESP and maxing it out for our kids' education, I would not again put a single dollar into my mortgage. Do that first and then think of mortgage payoff. And the fourth box to tick is that are you investing 20% of your net income into the stock market? This includes TFSA. This includes RRSP. RESP I still don't include in this 20% because it's not for your use, it's for your kids' use. So you can or cannot, include the 20%, but overall you should be investing 20% of your net income. This includes the employer match as well. So make sure that you are doing that calculation. And if you're not investing the 20% of your net income into the stock market, I would still not put any money towards my mortgage. And I'll talk about that in a bit, later after I have shown you the calculator. So let's move on to the calculator. I'll show you the 3 strategies that I'm using to pay off my mortgage in 15 years instead of 30. All right, so this is the mortgage savings calculator. We have started using that, not just over a week ago with our clients, and I've already inputted a few numbers. These are my numbers. So I have a net household income after taxes of about $15,000. My business makes a little bit more than that, but don't go by these specific numbers. Just this is just my example. This is my personal income that we take in dividends and salary. $1,500 is my property tax, and it's a freehold property, so it's $0. And $1,500 is on the higher side because the property is worth a lot more. It's about 1.3, 1.4 if I were to do an appraisal. I have an outstanding balance of $950,000. So I've taken 3 scenarios here because I'll be comparing 3 scenarios. And the first scenario is that I'm going for a fixed rate. And the fixed rate that was offered to me was 4.1%. I have a 27-year loan left. So I am just taking 27 years. I'm not I can extend it to 30 years as well, but I don't want to. I just want to prepay my mortgage earlier. So 27 years is what's left. And then I'm comparing that against the variable rate, which I'm taking. And I actually explained that in my previous video where I talked about why I'm taking a variable rate. So I'm taking a variable rate 3.65%, and I'm going to compare it with another strategy of how to prepay the mortgage in 15 years and how I'm doing that. The first strategy that I'm using is that I'm paying the difference between the payments of 4.1 103.65. It's just something that I do with some of my clients. I ask them to pay the difference. Right now, we are at a point where it's a 0.4, 0.5% difference. It's not been there for the last 3 years, but from this year, that difference is there. And, I would want to make at least that prepayment towards my mortgage. So the first is that you do a difference between fixed and variable. Not something that you thought about. I'm pretty sure you were thinking lump sum and stuff like that. But hear me out. This is one strategy that can actually save you a lot. So this is about $250 if I'm not mistaken. So $4,853 in payment versus $4,600 in payment. So that's $250 worth of prepayment that I'll do every single month. And I will be paying off my mortgage instead of 27 years in under 25 years. So 24 years and 9 months. So I've already saved 2 years and 3 months. I've already saved a lot of interest as well, $128,000 in interest by just implementing this small strategy. So I'm already, prepaying a little bit, doing that. So I've taken a lower rate, which is a variable rate, and I'm doing the prepayment of $250, and hopefully the interest rates remain the same. They don't go up too much, and I'll be able to prepay my mortgage in 24 years. But this particular strategy is just a small part of the overall strategy of prepaying my mortgage in 15 years. The next strategy that I have implemented on my mortgages, I've started doing accelerated bi-weekly payments. Now, what that means is that instead of making 12 monthly payments, what I do is I split the payment into half, the monthly payment into half. So my 4,614, if I do accelerated bi-weekly, will be just split in half, 2,307. And because it's bi-weekly, I'll be doing 26 of these payments instead of doing 24 of these payments. That way, I'll be prepaying one additional payment every single year. And that would bring my amortization to 21 years and 11 months. So that's the other thing that I'm doing on my mortgage. I'm bringing it back to 21 years by just changing it to accelerated bi-weekly. Now, when you are making all these changes, you actually have to take into consideration whether you can afford that particular payment or not. So what I do is that I do something called as an affordability check, where your overall household expenses should be less than 35% of your monthly net income. And if you do an accelerated bi-weekly payment, you are going a little bit over, that. If you are not doing anything, it will be under 35%. But I can afford that, and therefore I'm doing that. So that's the second thing that I'm doing, that I'm changing my payments to accelerated bi-weekly. The third thing, and the most obvious thing, is to do lump sum deposits towards your mortgage. Now, if you do lump sum deposits, they all go towards the principal of the mortgage, and therefore you pay off the mortgage early. I'll talk about how much I'm prepaying and how I'm back calculating that. In fact, I'll talk about, how I reached the 15 years or 15 or 17 years. 17 years is, more accurate, but, how I reached that 15, 17 years, I need to prepay in 15, 17 years. Like, why am I saying 15 or 17 years? I'll talk about that. But the lump sum deposit, it's not something that you do with more money that you earn. Obviously, you can earn more money and therefore you make prepayments towards your mortgage. But how I would do is that I would put my money into RRSP, and a lot of people are already putting the money into RRSP, and the tax refunds that I get from there, I put towards my mortgage. So if it's $5,000, let's say you make a $5,000, you're a couple and you 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, whatever your tax refund you got, you put the entirety of it and you do it every single year. Let's say that's $5,000. If I do that, I've already scaled back my loan to under 20 years. It's 19 years and 8 months. Now, I am planning to put $10,000 towards, the mortgage every single year. This is not my RRSP. My RRSP returns are maybe $3,000, but I'm putting an additional $7,000. I'm able to do that. If you're not able to do that, that's fine. But whatever you can, whatever tax refund you get from the RRSP, I would personally put that towards your mortgage so that you prepay and you reduce the loan. And if I do that, I'm already, getting into a territory where it's 17 years. If I increase that every single year by a little bit, let's say for next year, I start to put $15,000. That's my target. I want to be closer to $15,000. I'll be down to 16 years. And eventually I want to prepay my mortgage. So I want to get to a $20,000 every single year, apart from my accelerated bi-weekly payments. And obviously, your income increases. I will be down to about 15 years. So if I put $20,000 towards my mortgage, if I put the difference between the fixed and variable, which is $250 per month, every single month towards my mortgage, and if I do accelerated bi-weekly payments. And this is a lot, right? I'm using a combination of all three strategies. I will be able to prepay my mortgage in 15 years, and I will be saving a staggering $334,000 in interest. That's the most important thing. I'm not only saving 15 years or 12 years, 13 years in my mortgage, I'm also saving a ton of interest. And it's not really costing me a lot. Yes, I am taking money out of my business and I'm probably paying taxes, but it is giving me $300,000 plus in savings over the course of 30 years. It is giving me the peace of mind as well of being mortgage free, and that's very important. But there is a caveat to all this. All these three strategies, again, the four things that I talked about in the beginning of the year, I'll just put all those four things, here. But there's a caveat to this strategy, and the caveat is that your money is way better off in the stock market than in your mortgage. And I can prove you that. So let's scale the numbers back and say that instead of doing, let's say you are doing a $2,000 every single year prepayment towards your home. I'm just, for easy numbers, I'm doing $2,000. I will be, prepaying the mortgage about 1.5 years early. I will be, let me just do the 0, and I'll do monthly, and so that I can do a like-to-like comparison. So between these two scenarios, where what I've done is I've taken the exact same, rate. I've taken this exact same scenario. The only difference is in these two scenarios, I'm doing a $2,000 every single year of prepayment. If you look at the overall, cost of mortgage or the interest, I'll be saving about $34,000 in interest. If I invest, and I'm doing that for about 25.5 years. Let's say round it up to 25 years. Now, this is an investment calculator. If I invest that $2,000 at, let's say, 8% year on year into a broad market ETF fund, let's do that for 25 years. And I do that at 8% year on year return, let's say annual compounding, and my contribution every single year is $2,000. Let's say beginning of every year I'm making that. I will end up at $157,000 in my stock portfolio. So obviously, it's nowhere close to the $34,000 that I'll save in interest because I am ahead. So that's the reason why I said that you should always do this when you're investing 20% of your net income into the stock market, because obviously, mathematically speaking, and obviously there's more risk in that. There's a guaranteed return in your mortgage, there's peace of mind and all of that. But if you're not doing 20% of your net income into the stock market, you are not making the delta here, because the delta is very obvious. And therefore, I'm not a massive fan of prepaying the mortgage too aggressively. And the thumb rule that I have here with all of my clients and myself, and now I'll tell you why I want to prepay the mortgage in 15 to 17 years, is because I'm 38 right now and I want to be mortgage free by 55, because I feel that with all the investing that I'm doing and the business, the way it's going, if it all goes like that, I will have enough money to retire at 55. And that brings to that 17 years number. And that's how I back calculated, how much money I need to put into my home and what I need to do with my mortgage in terms of prepayment in order to pay off the mortgage in 17 years and not, keep it for 30 years. And that's how I run my maths on prepayments. So always remember that you need to back calculate from the age that you think you'll retire. Let's say, if you are in your 30s right now, let's say you're a 30 right now and you bought a home and, you are paying your mortgage aggressively and you prepay it in, 10 years by 40, and then you start investing in the stock market. And even though you're investing more into the stock market, you can do the math. And whatever way you do the math, you will fall short of your retirement goals. The other problem is that a mortgage-free home, yes, it's peace of mind. Yes, it's less expenses every single month, but it can pay you anything. It will just not take away anything from you or much from you. You still have to pay property taxes and maintenance, but it will take away less than what it would take away if you were renting a home, but it will still take away something. It's not giving you, it's not paying you to live in your retirement, which is why it's important to balance both strategies. You need to invest enough into the stock market and only think of, how to invest, how to put back money into your mortgage. And those two levers have to move in tandem. And you need to work backwards from the age you want to retire and then see how much prepayment you want to do. And I actually go one step ahead and then see how much more money I have to make in order to achieve all those two goals. I actually do this, over a 1 hour one-to-one call where I build an entire retirement planning call, inside of Grow Nation when you become a client. And this is the beauty of working with us, that it's not just the rate and the mortgage that you get. We are mortgage agents, obviously, but we also do the entire retirement planning for our clients, so that you are not only mortgage free when you retire, but you also have a substantial retirement fund, the stock market fund, to pull the money from when you're not making enough money. I hope this video was useful. I hope you now understand when to prepay, how much to prepay. And if it was helpful, do send it to a friend who can, make use of this video. That's all I have for today. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए bye bye.